Chapter 16. What Comes After. You're woken by the feel of sunlight on your face, followed by the sound of voices whispering somewhere nearby. As you blink your eyes open, you see red leaves shifting, gentle in the wind above you. Then slowly it all comes flooding back. Linux, the battle, the ley line. I have to figure out what happened. You sit up slowly, flinching as every muscle in your body screams in protest. Surprised, you're still at the red beach. Your friends lie beside you, unconscious but clearly in one piece. It's still daylight, so we can't have been out that long, and the ley lines, they're back up. Ah, there you are, Parker. Welcome back to the land of the living. At the sound of Lewin's voice, your head snaps around to see the Coven leaders standing at the base of the tree, looking the worse for wear. Astoria, Lewin? What are you doing here? What happened in the Nexus, the Covens? Is everyone alright? There were many casualties, but in the end the vampires prevailed thanks to you. And now we have some cleaning up to do, so, if you don't mind... And that's when you notice the ancient tome in Astoria's hands and the odd stone bowl at Lewin's feet. You push your feet and hobble over. Did I interrupt something? Nothing that concerns you. Astoria, there's no need to keep her in the dark. She's one of us now, after all. That doesn't mean she's permitted to learn about rituals reserved only for Coven leaders. That's an interesting way of saying thanks for saving my ass. Again. You may have our gratitude, but that doesn't entitle you to special privileges. In this case, it just might. We're here to perform the ritual that alters the memories of any human who might have witnessed our contraptions with the hunters. This is what they did after the battle with the Creator. I remember Gabriel and Cass telling me how it was so sacred, no one knew how to perform it but the Coven leaders. So, where does this ritual come from? Astoria hesitates, shooting a barely perceptible glance over Lewin. The specific steps for the ritual instructions came from this book. As it's for its origins, before that, it's hard to say. The ritual is so ancient, its history is lost in time. Now, if you don't have any more questions, we need to prepare. Time is of the essence, and the humans are already in a panic. But that little bit of knowledge you just gained has piqued your interest, and you have to admit, you do have more questions. Diamond choice. I want to know. Not like I'm ever gonna get this chance again. Actually, yeah, I do have more questions. You know what they say about curiosity in cats, Reese? That goes doubles for vampires. Astoria, really, there's no harm in indulging her. The secrecy around the ritual is more tradition than necessity, so we can certainly talk and prepare at the same time. She pins you with a glower and throws her hands up in frustration. I'll very well ask your questions. Yes. So, how many times have you had to do this? Not often, but enough that we've practiced in performing it. All the more since you've come to town. It's my fault a bunch of rabbit hunters attacked the Nexus a couple months after some immortal homicidal maniac came back from the dead. Enough snipping, both of you. Do you want to know or not? Sorry, I'm listening. Good. Now, the first time was a few decades ago. A young vampire was gave into a bloodlust and attacked someone unfortunate enough to be out in the woods. The morning is bright, sunny. Downtown Crimson Beach's streets are bustling with townspeople going about their daily tasks. Hey, Carol. Lovely to see you. Fine morning, isn't it? It sure is. I was just headed to the bakery to... Suddenly the tranquility is shattered by the piercing screams of someone running helter-skelter down the main street, blood coursing down his neck. Help! Help me! Good heavens! That's Harry Wilson! Harry! What? In the woods! A creature! Before I can say any more, a young woman runs into the square at impossible speed and tackles Harry onto the pavement. I must feed! I must! No! The ravening creature tears into his throat and drinks from the open vein. My God, she has fangs, and her eyes, they're silver. Good thing we have time to admire. What is this creature? Someone do something. The whole town was in a panic. Of course, we did the only thing we could. Went to the Red Beach, and for the first time, enacted the ritual. The most promising Clement in decades lost to bloodlust. What a waste. Time for lamenting later. The townspeople are forming hunting parties, searching the woods. If we don't act quickly, they'll find the nexus. Very well. Ready the spell while I fill the bowl. I pray this works, because if it doesn't, the vampires of Crimson Beach are in dire straits. What happened then? The ritual worked, obviously. The entire town forgot the whole thing ever happened. And the vampire, what happened to her? Banished, of course. That is the punishment of revealing yourself to a human, as you might remember. It rings a bell, yeah. Then there was the time those two idiots Blunkers waltzed into the Nexus. Sorry, humans got in the Nexus? How'd that happen? That was before we set guards. The woods were much thicker back then and offered enough protection. So we thought, believe me. We rectified that oversight immediately. I have to admit, I'm surprised you let them live. You wanted to kill me for finding out about vampires. You were a nobody. My tailor, on the other hand, is far more important. Your tailor? Didn't you just, I don't know, find another? Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a good tailor? The man is a genius with a needle, and a well-fitting wardrobe is more important than any passing snack. Soria has always had her priorities in order, clearly. Junius, do you really want to have that argument again? Uh-oh, I had a nerve. If I don't change the subject, these two are gonna go at it. So, that was it? Just those 2 times? There was one other, after. The incident last year, perhaps you remember? Actually, no, I was in a coma at the time. Yes, I recall. Well, the crater attack was a worst-case scenario, if there was one. We knew we only had a matter of hours before word spread, so despite our injuries from the battle, we gathered our supplies and rushed here. I've got everything we need. Hurry. We must begin the ritual. It is so pretty. But as you race to open the grimoire, Lewin pauses, a crafty look in his steely, piercing eyes. Astoria, perhaps this could also be the solution to the Parker problem. Erase her memories and we never have to deal with her meddling again. Ordinarily I would agree, but in this case perhaps we should wait. If not for Parker's meddling, the Nexus would have gone the way of a Flagstone Cove. And though it pains me to admit, something tells me she can still be of use to us. You're playing with fire, Astoria. Parker, hey Lewin, finger off the trigger. Your head whips around, and to your great annoyance, you see Gabriel Aldahar and Cass Harlow storming up the hill. Come no closer, I do not have the patience for any more insubordination from the likes of you. I do bad, because the likes of us are about to ruin your day. We heard about you talking about erasing Parker's memory, but we're here to tell you it's not going to work on her anymore. And what exactly do you mean by that? Don't be obtuse, Astoria. It's obvious they've already turned the human. We did, and we're not sorry. You turned a vampire without permission. Good God, is there any common law you won't break? I haven't met one yet. Back to the Nexus now. We'll deal with you two later. At the moment, we have a great deal of work to do containing this mess. Why did you need to go to the tree to tell them your memory reset wouldn't work? That was dumb. You were gonna erase my memory? It wasn't personal. Feels kind of personal to me. Can't believe you had my back, Astoria. Call it a gut instinct, and I was right. You did indeed come to be useful. Now, if you don't mind... Wait, I have more questions. Then get on with it. This isn't show and tell. The adults have work to do. I wanna know how it works. Help. And technically helping would get you to know how it works, so... Absolutely not. This is not for amateurs. Astoria, you said yourself I could be useful. Why not now? Secret rituals was not what I had in mind. Besides, we don't have time to teach you what you need to know. And explain to me the TLDR version. The government leaders pin you with their fiercest glares. They find meant to set fears in the hearts of their enemies, and then Astoria huffs a laugh. Points for tenacity, Reese. Very well. The mechanics are actually rather simple. We fill the bowl with water gathered from within the boundaries of the ley lines, to which we add 3 drops of sap from the red beach. 3. It's very specific. Any more in the entire town will forget their own names. Humans are weak creatures. Oh, so clearly you've experimented with this. You're just about to protest, but Lewin cuts you off. In any case, once it's been prepared, we stand before the tree, speak the ancient words into the bowl, summoning a rain that erases all knowledge of supernatural from any non-vampire mind it comes in contact with. But what about the people who didn't go out in the rain? If they're inside, don't they still remember? Even if they don't come into physical contact with the rain, it seeps into the groundwater, which then feeds the town's water supply and nourishes the crops. In a matter of hours, everyone in town has completely forgotten about the vampires. Okay. I don't even begin to tear that apart, but continue. Convenient. And effective. Especially if the guy's out picking corn, you know, right after rain. Thank God for that. And then someone immediately eats the corn once it's picked. But then you remember Libby and her nightmares about the creations, or what she thought were nightmares. Not as effective as you think. And if it happened once, it can happen again. Shaking the thought out of your head for now, you gesture towards the book in Astoria's hands. So what's the old book for? This old book is called a grimoire. Isn't a grimoire a book of spells? That doesn't seem like a vampire thing. How'd you get your hands on it? Surprised, she looks away and stumbles through the explanation. It came from a witch many years ago. She's being awfully squirrely. Give it up, Astoria. That wasn't a gift. You stole it, didn't you? Are you calling me a thief? But Lewin cuts off her protest with a bark of laughter. Don't pretend you're above such things, Astoria, even if, in this case, it's a false accusation. But why would the witch give up her grimoire? Do vampires have a history of working with witches? I know the creators were originally witches themselves, but it seemed like there was a falling out. How? How do you know that? When we were in the hunter camp, we snuck a peek at their so-called Bible. It's filled to the brim with propaganda, but that part seems true. That is very interesting. I'm eager to hear more about it, but that'll have to wait. As far as the witches go, there have been whispers of alliances with certain factions in the past, but nothing concrete so far as the historical records tell us. It seems to have been an uncommon occurrence. Story's eyes flick to Lewin for a moment, but before you can pursue it, she clears her throat. The truth of the matter is, we just don't know that much about witches or their alliances. Or even if they still exist. There hasn't been an encounter with a witch covenant in living memory, which in vampire terms is quite a long time. But if the witches who created the spell gave it to vampires, then they must have been in league at some point. But they were also working with hunters, so maybe they were playing both sides of the field? You're about to voice your theory when Astoria cuts you off with a huff that clearly says the conversation is over. I believe we've indulged you quite enough for one day. So please, step back so we can start the ritual. As you can see, there are already humans coming this way. Spin around, horrified to telling the townspeople milling about in a panic at the edge of town. You're even more horrified when your mother breaks from the pack and runs towards you. Wait! Not again. Dr. Reese, I understand your instinct to protect your cub. There is no place for human interference. Parker has proved she can protect herself. I'm here because I overheard what you said about the ritual of erasing human memories. Of course you did. Can we not go a day without trouble from the Reese family? What part of sacred ritual known only to coven leaders did you not understand? I understand everything, including what's been going on in this town, and with my daughter. I refuse to let you take that from me, not again. Refuse? It's not up to you to refuse us anything. Have we not made that clear? Astoria... Please don't erase my mom's memories. We only just started rebuilding our relationship, and I don't want to lose that closeness again. Neither do I. Come on, after everything she's done to help us, my mom deserves better, and you know she won't tell anyone. Well, she has proven she can keep her mouth shut about vampires. Startled, but grateful to find Lewin on your side, you turn to Astoria and meet her stubborn stare with one of your own as you silently will her to relent. Fine, keep your memories, if only to stop your incessant human bleating. Principal Yao, thank you. Yes. Now, can we get on with this before the rabble start storming the castle? Parker, hold on to your mother. Vampire touch will make her immune to the effects of the ritual. Convenient. Mom, we should probably get back. I have no idea what's about to happen. Watch in fascination as the coven leaders gather at the base of the tree and Astoria recites a spell in some ancient language you don't recognize. Within moments, dark clouds gather in the sky, followed by a roll of thunder and a light rain, like a summer shower that patters around but never falls directly on you. Amazing. It's like a magical umbrella. You shoot a quick glance down the hill to see the townspeople start to blink in confusion, looking around as if they can't quite figure out where they are or how they got there. Why did I go into the woods? I have no idea, but let's get home before it starts to pour. Shrugging, they wander back into town as if they don't have a care in the world. Well, that was super goddamn convenient, I'm just saying. You're not the one doing the ritual. Just saying, you recite some words, people get wet, everyone goes home. Happy. Win-win. Minutes later, the sun returns, leaving beads of rain sparkling on the leaves at the red beach. As you look around and wonder, Lewin calls your attention with a clearing of his throat. Dr. Reese, Astoria, and I have a brief discussion and have decided to place you under the full protection of the covens in honor of your service to us. And you won't force me to forget anything? Well, that was the agreement, Astoria. Yes, we won't erase your memories. With a laugh that's half amusement, half relief, you throw your arms around your mom, blinking back tears as you whisper into her shoulder. I love you so much, Mom. And I promise I'll never keep secrets from you again. Can't wait to tell Gabriel and Cass. Secrets. Well, not about vampires, anyway. Mother huffs a laugh and pulls away to cup your face in her hands, tears of joy shining in her eyes. You deserve your privacy, Parker, but if there's anything you ever want to talk about, I'm always here to listen. And that goes for Gabriel and Cass, too. After everything we've been through, I consider them family. And you're all a pain in my ass. Now, go express your human emotions elsewhere. You're giving me hives. Listen, I think Astoria could be my girlfriend. Anyway, Dr. Reese, We would like a moment with Parker to discuss Coven matters. That sounds ominous. I'll meet you at home, hun. She gives your hand a squeeze, and as she walks back to town, you turn to Astoria and Lewin. We wanted to inform you that the life celebration is tomorrow. And just like that, your happiness comes to a screeching halt as you remember everyone lost to the battle with the hunters, one face standing out the most. Seth. And following that will be your turning ritual. Turning ritual? But I'm a vampire. Why go through the effort if I'm already turned? Because it's a tradition, and of course you need to be aligned with the Coven. You turn to look at Gabriel and Cass, who are just beginning to wake, and your heart drops. I've completely forgotten about that. It'll be one or the other now. Take the time to prepare yourself, and we'll see you for the celebration tomorrow. The next night, after the fires of the funeral pyres have died away and the ashes of the fallen have scattered to the winds, you and Gabriel will follow Cass out to the lake for a private memorial for Seth. Seth didn't even get a full human lifespan, let alone a vampire one. Singing, dancing, and celebration just doesn't feel right to me. I think he would have appreciated this more, especially coming from you. Cass gives a sad smile of acknowledgement and sets a small wooden boat on the sand and pushes it into the water. A beat-up old hat resting in the hull. What's that? His baseball cap. He was wearing it the first time I met him. He looked like such a dork, but I couldn't help but love the kid. He was a real sports nut. I'm gonna miss having someone to talk football with. Remember that time he tried to get a Clements versus Venedice game going? He did. What happened? About what you'd expect. We maybe got 2 plays in before a fight broke out. And that stupid shirt he wore. You know, the one with the cartoon character on it? I like that shirt. You would. The two of you shared the same lack of fashion sense. I'm gonna miss those stupid shirts and the way he followed me around town all the time. Like a chatty little shadow. I'll miss his warm presence. The Nexus can be a bit grim place, but Seth managed to make it feel like home, even from a different coven. And I'll miss nothing, because literally and figuratively, we didn't know the guy at all. Anyway, how kind he was. It didn't matter that it was a human. Seth was a real friend from our first conversation. Vampires can get a little tribal, but not Seth. He didn't care what coven you were in. He was friends with everyone. I teased him a lot about it, but honestly, I was jealous of how easily he made friends. I wish I could tell him that. He knows. Cass gives a slight nod, then after a moment, she clears her throat and squares up her shoulders. Okay, Viking funeral time. Cass hands you and Gabriel each a bow, and together you light the tips of the arrows on fire. You steady yourself to aim, and then one by one release. A meaningful send-off. The fiery missiles burn bright against the night sky in graceful arcs until curving down to land, quivering on the boat, setting it aflame. Goodbye, Seth. The grief you feel is almost palpable, and tears you've held back since Seth's death begin to fall. Hold both their hands. I need to know I'm not alone. You reach out, brushing your fingers first against Cass's and then Gabriel's in silent appeal, and they thread their fingers into yours. I think he would have liked this, you know? Getting sent off like a badass. You snort a laugh, imagining Seth's reaction, and you squeeze her fingers in agreement. He would have loved it, especially you calling him a badass. As the little boat burns out and sinks quietly into the lake, Cass clears her throat and shakes her head like she's shaking off her grief. Okay, enough of this emo crap. We got stuff to do, places to be. Let's get out of here. As you head back through the woods, Gabriel suddenly turns to you with a small smile. Speaking of places to be, Parker, we need to get you ready for the turning ritual. The turning ritual. With everything that's been going on, I almost forgot. Again. This will definitely be where I'll live the rest of my immortal life. And with whom, I hope... I wish it didn't have to be one or the other. Hope they make me a Venadai. Hope they make me a Clement. You know what? I hope they make me a Klondike bar so I can eat it. You know, I've been in horrific pain for like 2 weeks, and that's the first time I got to laugh. Glance at Cass striding through the underbrush, the ever-present smirk on her face. And you sneak a peek at Gabriel. He smiles, his warm Gabriel smile at you, the one that always makes your stomach swoop. This could be our last moments together as a trio. After I'm assigned a coven, it's going to have to be one or the other, and I hate that choice is being made for me. Even though we just talked about Steph, who was literally friends with one or the other. You dispel the gloomy thoughts with a shake of your head. I need to stop angsting about things that are out of my control and focus on the ritual. And you realize you know absolutely nothing about it, with the two people walking beside you do. Okay, this turning ritual, you've both been through it. Give me the deets. But to your surprise, Gabriel and Cass share a conspiratorial nod. No. What? No. What do you mean? He means no, as in nada, zip, zilch. We decided it'd be cheating if we told you, so Gabriel purses his fingers and slides them across his mouth. The message is clear, their lips are sealed. Oh, come on. You gotta give me something here. I know it involves biting, and since I'm already a vampire, that seems a little unnecessary. Sorry, but sometimes life is better with a bit of mystery. At least tell me I'm gonna have to do something crazy, like smoke peyote or get a coven tattoo. These are both crazy, question mark. Now, that would be my kind of initiation, but you're getting nothing out of us. You guys suck. But literally. This is why I did that. We may not have information for you, but we do have a gift. Something the two of us worked on together. You guys work together? It's a turning ritual miracle. What? I can collaborate as long as I get my way. You definitely did not always get your way. Remember, I wouldn't let you... Jeez, Golden Boy, if you're gonna spoil the surprise, we might as well just give it to her now. Excited grins on both their faces. Gabriel reaches into a bag, pulls out a beautifully wrapped gift. Well, don't just stand there with your mouth open. Go for it. You tear into the package with childlike glee. Your eyes widen when you pull out a glamorous outfit covered with black lace. We had it custom made for you. It's modeled on traditional vampire ceremonial outfits, but updated with a bit of our own style. I swear to God if this sucks. Go ahead, try it on. I'm dying to see you in it. Diamond choice. Okay. I accept. Listen, you had me at black lace. I don't know what you tell me. Or tell you. With Cass and Gabriel to help, you slip into the magnificent dress, captivated by how the fabric flows around you, the hint of danger, mystery, tradition. I look so vampire. Cass's eyes roam across you, her lips curling into a satisfied grin. Oh, you're definitely one of us now. Gabriel, what do you think? But he is speechless, staring at you with his wide, admiring eyes. That's Golden Boy for you. You're a hottie. We should get going. The ritual's gonna start in... He checks his watch and his eyes fly wide. Now! Let's go. Don't want the guest of honor to be late to our special vampire day. Gabriel and Cass solemnly lead you through the Nexus, but instead of heading to the tribunal chamber like you expected, they bring you to somewhere new. Pretty. And by pretty, I mean bleak. Inside, the entire coven is gathered, their silver eyes reflecting the light of 100 candles set about the chamber. Then you notice the massive stone table placed in the back. Your breath hitches in your throat, and you feel your hands begin to shake. Is this a turning ritual or a vampire sacrifice? Cass gives you a cheeky grin and nudges your arm as she and Gabriel lead you towards the table. Did we forget to tell you? Your dinner. We eat you with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. I like that. Cass, stop. She's nervous enough as it is. Don't worry, Parker. It's just part of the ritual. But the real surprise comes when every vampire bows as the three of you pass. What's going on? Is this part of the ritual too? But it's Astoria who answers from the diocese, where she's sitting beside Lewin, expressions a mix of solemnity and wry amusement. No, Miss Reese, full coven members do not bow to mere initiates. Then what's going on, then? They're honoring you, all three of you, for defeating the Hunters, Creator. The Coven hails you as heroes. About damn time. And in that moment, you forget to be nervous as pride swells in your chest. Normally, an initiate would enter this chamber as a human, but thanks to a little premature turning, you cast a scolding glance at Gabriel and Cass, who smile sheepishly in response. You're already a vampire, but tradition dictates we carry on with the ceremony. To symbolize your acceptance, you'll be bitten by each of your brethren, Clements and Venedize alike. Please, take your place on the table. Nerves rattling your stomach, you take a deep breath and whisper to Gabriel and Cass. This is kind of intimidating. I was gonna say a turn on, but continue. I'm gonna be lying there totally exposed while the entire coven lines up to take a bite. Yep. And around here, that's called Tuesday. Don't worry, Parker. We've all been through it. Come on. I'll help you out. As you climb onto the table, heart pounding, Astoria and Lewin step up on either side of you, their respective covens lining up behind them. The coven leaders each lift one of your wrists to their mouths, pausing only to say in tandem, "Welcome, Parker Reese." Welcome, Parker Reese. And together they sink their fangs into your wrists. You flinch at the initial sting, but as each vampire steps up to take their turn, the pain begins to fade and you're swept up in the solemn ritual. Welcome, Parker Reese. Welcome, baby vamp. When the last vampire comes away, or steps away, it's Cass and Gabriel's turn, their smiles filled with love and pride, but before their fangs descend, hold. Did we do something wrong? Not at all. Parker, for your service to the Coven last year and now, we have decided to bestow on you the honor of choosing the Coven you wish to join. They did this on purpose. The room gasps, and even Gabriel and Cass look at you with surprise. They didn't know about this either. As the implications of the announcement sink in, Gabriel's eyes fill with hope, and though Cass is smirking, you can tell she's not as certain about your choice as she pretends. So which will it be? You clear your throat, a sense of absolute clarity filling you as your voice rings throughout the chamber. This decision will affect the rest of your immortal life, including who you spend it with. Choose wisely. Wow, because, hey, guess what? Psst, hey, guys, bet you didn't know I was going to pick both. Because I haven't done that for 2 books in a row. The reaction to your unprecedented announcement is decidedly mixed. There's sporadic applause, followed by confused whispers. Did you say both? But that's just not done. I'm an indie. What do you want? You search the crowd for your friends. Their expressions range from shocked to deeply amused. Well, that's a new one. Well, leave it to Reese to cause an uproar. He's in shock. She's smiling. See, I win. It's clear Gabriel's startled, while Cass smirks up a storm. But when their eyes meet, they both look away quickly. It's the reaction of the Coven leaders you're dreading. They're clearly shocked and more than a little aggravated. You tamp down your nerves as you await the inevitable response. Please let me have this. They close ranks in a huddle, their voices low, even your vampire hearing can't pick it up. When then Astoria rolls her eyes, lets out a long, low sigh, while Lewin steps forward, his sharp eyes pinned on you, and laughs. I must admit, you've taken us by surprise, Parker. But then you always have, since your involvement with the Coven has never been, shall we say, traditional. Balloon is taking so long to spit out as we've decided to allow it. But the rest of you better not get any idea this is a one-time thing. Yes, Gabriel, the honor of last bite is yours. Do we do this together, or no? I guess so. I mean, this is uncharted territory. We're making it up as we go along. So, new girl, where do you want it? Cass to bite my wrist as Gabriel bites my neck. Gabriel to bite my wrist as Cass bites my neck. Bullshit! What? Listen, can both of you trade off? You know, you bite my wrist, then bite my neck. I'm just saying. I don't know. Anyway. Listen, the neck is a very essential area. So is the wrist, but you know. Why not? They both chuckle, and how breathy you sound. As Gabriel leans close, he presses a kiss to your throat and whispers, "For luck." Just as Cass lifts your wrist to her mouth and runs her tongue across your pulse point. This is just the start. Then, by some unspoken accord, they tenderly sink their fangs into your skin together. The experience is more intimate than you ever thought possible. All too aware the vampires crowded around you, you fight the urge to squirm. If we were alone, this would be so much more than a bite. As they pull away from you, Gabriel smiles, warm, shy, and Cass has to laugh. Her teasing smirk says more where that came from. Their fangs retract and they step away, offering you their hands to help you sit up as the Coven gives you a final round of applause. Clements and Vended Eyes, please welcome your newest member, Parker Reese. This time the reaction is universal, genuine, and as you slide from the table, your friends approach to offer congratulations. Welcome to the Clements. Vended Eye thinks a surprise, but I always knew you'd be one of us. Margot looks you up and down, then shakes her head and smirks. Typical Reese. With that, everyone begins to filing out of the room, and when the door closes behind the last vampire, you're finally alone with Gabriel and Cass. You look from one to the other, uncertain and almost afraid to ask. I know this is a lot, but I can't or couldn't choose between you. You're both in my heart and always will be. Can you accept that? They share a glance and you hold your breath. Some wordless conversation passes between them and then Cass shrugs. I'm okay with it. Aldahar may not be my style, but if it means I get to spend eternity with you, it's worth it. It's one thing we'll always agree on. So whatever it takes to make you happy, even if it means putting up with Cass, I'll do it. You release your breath in a relieved exhale, and then take each of their hands, elated beyond words. Gabriel, Cass, I love you both so much. More than I ever thought possible, and the fact that you can do this for me, it just makes me love you more. Gabriel's smile widens, joy lighting up his face, his fingers threading into yours and holding tight like he's never letting you go. Parker, we love you too. Now, say it again. With a laugh, you tip your head back and shout, your voice bouncing off the stone walls of the chamber. I love Cass Harlow and Gabriel Aldahar forever. You kiss Gabriel first, his lips warm, loving, then turn to Cass, wiping the grin from her face with an earth-shattering, raucous crash of lips. Like I said, worth it. Laughing, you pull them towards the table. Gabriel's lips whisper kisses along the line of your jaws. Cass buries her face in your throat, nipping her fangs across your collarbone. And it doesn't take long for the moment to become charged, but suddenly the chamber door creaks open and a vampire into the room, startled. The three of you jump apart. Oh, I didn't know you were still in here. Lucas, we were, right, got it, I'll just, I'll leave. Why the hell did you come in here? Seriously. You wanted a candle or something? Maybe a cookie? This is not a bake sale. Lucas backs out of the chamber and you press your hands to your cheeks to cool the burning. Awkward. I'd say. I think this room might be a little too public. Actually, I know a place where we can be alone. Oh, that place. Yeah, it's perfect. What do you say, new girl? Care to take a walk on the wild side? Listen, I guess I'll pick the one diamond choice. We'll go until we can. Let's go. Uncharted territory. Here we come. Smiling and nervous, they lead you from the chamber to a small room deep in the Nexus. You take it in slowly. The large bed, the lush decor. Yeah, it looks real homey, like a dungeon. I've never seen this place before. Is it some kind of guest bedroom? Yeah, on the rare occasion ambassadors from other covens visit Crimson Beach, this is where they stay. Do you think anyone else knows about it? Besides the coven leaders and elders, probably not. And as far as I know, we're not expecting any visiting emissaries. So, if you're asking if we'll be interrupted, the answer is no. Good, because we might be here a while. There's a sudden nervous silence as you all look at each other. No one's sure just what the next move is. So, you like it? We want it to be perfect for you, so it's, if it's not your thing, they're so eager to please you. A lump forms in your throat, and you take their hands and pull them into your embrace. Of course it's perfect. Any place would be perfect as long as we're together. Wait, I forgot one thing. With a coy smile, he lights a small candle on the bedside table. Dude, really? This isn't The Notebook? Never watched it, but okay. What, do you think you can do better? Than you? That's a pretty low bar. Here, new girl, give me your phone. Cass scrolls quickly through your music, then grins as she hits play on the most romantic playlist. Now that's how you set a mood. You stifle a laugh, beaming at how different they are, but also at how much you love them both for exactly who they are. I've been imagining this moment for so long. I want to take it slow. It's up to you, Parker. We're following your lead here. Your touches are tentative at first, a brush of a hand down Cass's chest, your thumb gliding across the ridge of Gabriel's cheekbone. Cass circles her hand gently around your waist. It's like she's afraid to startle you, while Gabriel cradles your face with a warm smile. This good? You're comfortable? More than comfortable. I just never thought this would ever happen. Gabriel presses his forehead to yours with a soft chuckle, his expression filled with the same wonder you feel. And Cass, there's a vulnerable look in her eyes you've never seen before. She whispers a kiss against your ear, breathes your name. Parker. And suddenly you feel how right this all is, like it was always meant to be in this way, like these two people are yours and somehow always have been. With a cat-like grin, Cass gives your clothing a tug. Thinking maybe this is the part where we do away with these? Undress for them, let them undress me. Step back, locking eyes with them. I thought maybe both of you could help me out with this. Cass's eyebrows quirk up just as Gabriel sharply inhales. I'll, start. Without waiting for a reply, he steps forward, his eyes asking permission for sliding your top up and over your head. His fingers brush your side, sending bolts of electricity coursing through you. You really needed a better bra. Oh, sorry, not sorry. Really? Red, white, and blue. Come on, it isn't the fourth. Then Cass is there, her eyes coy and excited, her fingers quickly working to remove the remaining pieces of fabric. When you're standing there before them bare, vulnerable, they step back, their eyes raking across you, their naked desire igniting your own. You lay back on the bed with a teasing smile. Now you. With nervous screams, they start to pull off their clothes, Cass tossing hers across the room as Gabriel leaves his in a neat pile on the floor. You hook your finger in invitation. Come here. Where? Cass in front, Gabriel behind. Gabriel in front, Cass behind. Am I the only one who visualized this differently? Anyone? Let me know in the comments. You hold your hand out to Gabriel to pull him down, rolling to your side to face him, and Cass stretches out along your back. Gabriel's fingers travel down your body as Cass rakes her fangs across the curve of your throat. And just like that, there's no more tentativeness. Bring with them like this, it feels natural, and soon you fall into a rhythm. Your bodies working together as always meant to be. Gabriel's fingers glide between your legs as Rut-Row. You spent your first night as a Clement Venedi with Gabriel and Cass. No shit, really. Then your emotions and your body peak, fueled by the knowledge that you always will be together. Like this, with them, forever. But a way of saying that. Later, you're stretched out in the middle of the bed, cradled between both of them, their arms draped across you. I think I could be happy doing this for the rest of my life. Waking up to your face and that smile. It's all I'll ever need. Why, thanks, Golden Boy. I can't say I feel the same about you, but... You're surprised. He huffs out a laugh. It suddenly occurs to you that there's a conversation still to be had by the three of you. You prop yourself up on your elbows, glancing from one to the other. Uh-oh, looks like, serious words are about to be spoken. What's on your mind? We never talked about how this was gonna work. Like, where we'll live together in town, Nexus. All of us moving in together. Guessing that might end in tears and bloodshed. Yeah, it's a little too soon, at least for now. There's only so much Cass and I can handle at once. Right back at you. Let's get used to the idea first. Besides, don't you want to stay close to your mom? Of course I do. Not really. I'm just thinking ahead. We've got an eternity together to get used to the arrangement. And each other. But I bet you two will come to like each other eventually. You know, like this. Gesture to the two of them laying stretched out on either side of you, sweaty and sated. Cass picks her head up off the pillow to look at Gabriel, who stares back, lips quirked in an amused smile, and then Cass shrugs. I mean, anything's possible. And since we've got forever to look forward to, who knows what could happen. You lie back with a relieved sigh, smiling back and forth between the two of them, your heart leaping at the knowledge that you'll never be forced to choose between them. You mean because we already did? I love you guys. Of course you do. What she means is we love you too. Oh, I know. I learned to speak Cass long time ago. She huffs out a laugh, and you brush a kiss to her shoulder, and then Gabriel's. As you snuggle down between them, you're filled with the excitement and all the possibilities of your immortal life with these two remarkable people. Forever. Okay, the screen's faded to black. Oh, there it is. The night is pitch black, not even a moon to light the darkness, but at the base of the red beach, strange runes begin illuminating the gloom like a menacing beacon. Suddenly the ley lines spark into view for a moment before fading softly into the night. The next morning, you and Gabriel and Cass crowd through the doors of the newly repaired tribunal chamber to find it already packed, nervous, energy permeating the air. Anyone know what this is about? No idea. We got the same orders as you did. Emergency meeting at the Nexus. Attendance is mandatory. The buzz of conversation dies down as the coven leaders enter the chamber, their faces grim. That's not good. Nope. That's a story as everything's going to hell again, look. Damn it, the last thing we need right now is another battle. We still haven't recovered from the last one. Astoria clears her throat, and with a glance at Lewin, she faces the assembly. This morning a group of Venedis were returning from a hunt, and though they were well within the boundaries of the ley lines, they fell prey to sun poisoning. The same thing happened to a group of Clements in town. It's like Crimson Beach, but that means for some unknown reason the ley lines are failing. There's a collective gasp from the room as everyone looks to each other in shock. But that's unprecedented. How could it happen? What about unknown reason did you not understand? For safety's sake, we will have to ask you all to stay at the Nexus until we figure out what's causing this anomaly. But I live in town. What about my home, my job? If we all just disappear, it's gonna blow our cover. As the agitation and fear begin to spread, you turn to Cass and pitch your voice low so only she and Gabriel can hear. Cass? Can you fix this with your powers? You did move the ley lines before. Yeah, and I have no idea how I did it. It's not like there's an instruction manual for this. If it's not Cass's powers that did this, then what? I think the question might not be what, but who. You think back to the first appearance of the Creator, then the Hunters. This is how it started then, and I think maybe happening again. Thank you for continuing your journey with Gabriel and Cass and the entire cast of Immortal Desires. We hope to see you in Book 3. I hope you actually, hire some writers between then and now. Anyway, before we get into that, without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot, before we dive into what I'm going to consider a mega drop on you. So here we go. Yeah. We have a massive universe to pull from, right? Think about it. We've got the Nightbound people. We've got the Bloodbound people. We have, literally and figuratively, the entire world to pull from, if you really think about it. Right? Anyone else getting sick of Crimson Beach at this point? Anyone? So, if you listen to me during Chapter 15, which I uploaded today, especially at the end, my God, am I tired of this shit. So, the battle was over in literally a Thanos snap. It just was horribly done. Plot armor, plot holes, just horribly done. Okay, just horrible done. I know Pixelberry will occasionally go back and redo stories, as many of you have told me, like my videos at least kind of like have a historical archive of what it was like before they went back and changed things, right? To now where it's more about chicka wow wow in certain stories, and less like it used to be. So what a surprise. All while Pixelberry scratches their head and goes, why are we losing money, fame, viewers, and everything else? I don't know. Pull your head out of your ass. So with that being said, we have the entire literal Bloodbound, Nightbound world to pull from, if you really think about it. We're not pulling from it. Right? We could be doing it. We could have cameos. We could have a lot of things being done, and it's not happening. Really kind of sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, we've talked about Flagstone coved out, okay? That's all we ever hear about is the one coven that exists or existed, and that's it. But there's emissaries. We don't know who, we don't know where, but, yada, yada, yada. Again, cameos, a lot of potential. Some of the most successful franchises in literal known history are ones that do successful crossovers. A perfect example is Spider-Man the Animated Series and X-Men the Animated Series. It's one of the reasons why X-Men got a recent renewal for the X-Men 97 series, but I digress. Check it out if you haven't checked those out. Again, successful crossovers happen all the time. Arrow, Flash, Superman, yada, yada, yada. So, I don't understand why Pixelberry, well, I do, because the writers, a lot of them have left or been laid off, but I don't understand why they don't utilize that potential. Just saying. Um, aside from that, uh, next up is Libby. What's Libby's excuse for being able to remember things? Right. So is she like a witch too? Is she special? I don't know. Typically at the end of these books, especially if you paid for certain diamond choices or you unlock the tree like we did or whatnot, they'd at least give you a peek behind the scenes. This feels like a very cheap ending. It feels like, one of those anticlimactic, like, series finales on a soap opera, which never ends anyway, and it doesn't really have an end of a series, and it's still going to be on tomorrow. But I digress. I'm just kind of exhausted. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've gone through probably some of the most intense pain that a human being can go through in the last 2 weeks, okay? Like, I'm talking to the point of being well beyond anyone's threshold, okay? And I'm just sitting here and coming back now and still being in about 80% pain. Lower than the threshold, but at least I'm still in a lot of pain. And I just look at this shit and I'm sitting here going, okay, for 6+ years, I've made sure to upload this stuff every day. Like, immediately right when it comes out, making sure to do it, and making sure to take things serious, making sure to give 110% of myself for a lot of this. And I'm so irked at the writing. And if you're at all a gamer, right, like, there's people who stand up to AAA companies who are making billions of dollars, and they constantly are speaking with their wallets and everything else, and they can make make changes in the gaming industry, let alone for that game and everything else. And I'm just saying this to you, Choices viewers, right? When are you guys gonna, like? I never really see you guys fighting back against Choices and Pixelberry on demanding better. I never see it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never see it. Like, I've read a lot of the posts on multiple platforms, and I never see you guys expect better from them. I never see you hold them accountable. I never see anything. I never see it. And, like, am I just... I know I'm not, but it's already a answerable question because I already know the answer. Like I said, I know it's not, but am I the only one who just is tired of the really bad writing, the Bow Chicka Wow Wow and everything else like that, and we want Pixelberry back from, when it first came out, especially like the first 3 years? Does anyone else want that story app back? Because, I sure as shit do, but, again, most of the writers have left or been laid off, so we're just stuck with a skeleton crew of people who, like, I just don't think they know how to write worth a shit. And yes, I will gladly put myself up against you any given Sunday, any given day, but, I just had to make that reference. And I will literally put my creative juices and brain against you. And because I'm looking at already the work you guys are doing at Pixelberry, and I'm just frowning. And I'm going, listen, I used to write better when I was a teenager, right? It just irks me that I've met some really successful writers, right? And from when I was a teenager all the way up until now, and I've actually in person met these people. And, like, I look at what we're reading here, and it's just a waste of my time. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just really a waste of my time. I just played, what was it, the Night Empires game, right? Where, feel free to check out that video, but I had more fun playing that game and the vampire story and everything in and around it. And again, it's a free mobile game. And yeah, it may not be choices based, but in terms of vampire story, it was better and more coherent than what I'm dealing with right now with this. And it as a person who's a huge vampire fan, love Wiccans I'm thinking witches while thinking Wiccans. Witches, Wiccans, warlocks, like all this other potential that especially has not been even introduced into these universes, right? That could be, and a lot of things and source material to pull from, which would make these things even better, and would take literally 5 minutes of just googling. Let alone, I mean, there's AI things you can use now for like get generating source material and creativity things and get the juices flowing. Again, I just I don't know. I mean, this is another book. I'm just gonna here's a little bit of positivity and optimism. It's another book we finished together, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in, especially if you reached the end of this video. It means a lot to me. Um, really, truly, it does. But now to give you some negativity, I'm just tired, especially of covering choices and whatnot. And I'm really considering quitting. So, yeah. After doing this shit for almost 7 years, give or take, I forget when the hell their anniversary is. Let's put it this way. I've been doing this shit since day one. Literally day one when the app launched. So I've been doing this stuff every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when they inserted shit on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like, I always covered it. I always have. I always make sure to get you guys your choices. I'm tired. There's a lot of other games out there. There's a lot of other apps out there that I could be giving my attention to. And if Pixelberry's not willing to actually try anymore, I don't feel like I should give them my time and effort. And it's just something that, you know, as you get older, right, I'm just going to give you this little nugget of wisdom. Your time is finite, and you need to make sure that things that you are putting in your life are worth the time. If you are filling up your life full of things that aren't worth your time, aren't worth your effort, aren't worth anything, then what are you doing with your life? Nothing. You're just wasting yourself. You're wasting your potential. And I don't know. Just I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. Catch y'all later. Peace out.